Am I live? Am I live? I think I'm live already. Am I live? Oh, 24 seconds. Okay. I'll just optimize this first. Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video and where you're joining in from. Uh, I'm trying to add my title to the YouTube live. In the meantime, just entertain yourself with my smiling face. Okay, just give me a minute. Badam, 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 badam. I'm adding my thumbnail now. Badam, 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 and my tags. Badam, 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 badam. Da 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 da. Tidi 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 badam 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 All right, I think this is it. I think this is it, and we are good to go. Okay, sorry, I wasted 5 minutes of your time already, but we are good to go now. So, welcome to Masterclass by Mango Self Tarioso. This is the outline. So, we'll cover what SEO content writing is, benefits, how to write SEO content. This is the main reason why we're here. Then, picking a niche, building a portfolio, how to get clients. So, what do you need to get the most out of this short course, class training? What should I call it? Short, this master class. Yes. What do you need? Basically, your smartphone or PC, internet connection, and your attention. Okay, so before we dive in, who is Tari and why should you listen to him? Basically, I'm a digital marketer. I'm proficient in SEO and content marketing. I studied writer before digging deep into other parts of digital marketing. I've written multiple articles that rank on page one of Google, and currently I'm an SEO writer at a US based content agency. Now, that was me talking about myself. As you can see here, I won the Writer of the Month award in July 2024. This isn't recent, it was in 2024 for Pragmapreneur. And I think that's it for now. But basically, I know what I'm doing. I'm not a novice. I'm not trying to teach you something I haven't done, basically. I think that's the whole summary of this. Let's move on. What is SEO content writing? I'm not going to spend much time on the intro parts because I believe you most likely have an idea of what SEO content writing is. Okay, let me take a step back. Let me just run through. So SEO content writing, basically, the best way I can explain SEO content writing is to first tell you what SEO is. But let me read through what I have here. So SEO content writing is writing to make a website more visible on search engines. Now, I'm sure you know what search engines are. For example, big old Google that we have here. And then there's also Bing, there's Yahoo, and a host of other search engines. The work of search engines is to help people find answers to their questions online, find products online, find whatever they need, movies, anything they need online. That's the work of search engines. Now, the thing is, there could be like a billion answers to any single question that is asked online. So, for example, maybe you are searching for the best natural hair products in your state or something, or in your country. There could be like a billion answers to that question. Give me a sec. Let me fix it. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, so as I was saying, whenever you search for anything online, there could be like a billion answers to that thing. So the search engine has to find a way to show you the best answers out of the bulk of an answers that are available. So maybe there are like 500 natural hair products out there. The search engine needs to rank them in a particular order and then gives you what it thinks is the best answer to your question. So basically, that's what SEO is generally. Now, writing is a very important part of SEO content writing. Rather, writing is a very important part of SEO because the answers you are expecting would be what people have already written. The kicker here is that the answer that you get may not necessarily be the best answer, but it is the answer that the search engine thinks is the best answer to what you are searching for. So the whole essence of SEO content writing is to make your website or your product or whatever it is you want people to see is to make it appeal to the search engine so they feel like, okay, this is the best answer to the question this person is asking. I hope I didn't end up confusing you. Okay. So yeah, basically that's what SEO is. So SEO content writing is the writing part of SEO. There's a lot of things involved in SEO, not just the writing. So you have to ensure your website speed is on par. You need to get links from other people's website. Don't worry, I would talk a bit more about external links. So you need to get links from other people's websites. You need your website to load fast, and then you need to write great content. You also need to structure your content well, and you need to include your keywords in certain aspects. Now I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So SEO content writing is writing to make your website more visible on search engines. It's writing to help people, but at the same time please search engines. You could have the, like I said, what the search engine shows you is not necessarily the best answer to the question you asked, but it is what the search engine has decided is the best answer. So, in as much as you want to write, you also want people to see what you're writing. I don't think there's anybody, okay, there may be people who don't want their writing to be read by the entire world. But I think the goal of most writers who are doing this commercially, or the goal of businesses who hire people to write for them, is that they want their content or their website or their products or whatever it is they're putting out there to be distributed to as many people as possible. And people who use search engines, I think, I cannot remember the exact figure, but it's quite, there are many people who use search engines each day. So if you can position your product or your website or whatever it is you want to put out there well, and search engines think that it is the best answer to the people who are searching for that, then you can reach more people. So you're not just writing to help people, but you're also writing to please the search engine so that the search engines can help you distribute what you've written. So asynchronous writing is writing in a way that answers people's questions on Google. Yeah, this is key. You know, Google is not the only search engine, but it is the most widely used search engine. And they pioneered search in a way. They innovated ahead of other search engines. Other search engines were lagging behind before now. And Google is a major player basically. So our focus will be on Google. And if you write your articles well for Google, it's most likely also going to rank on other search engines. So basically, you find people's questions on Google and then write to answer those questions. Like I said, remember, you are trying to please the search engines in as much as you want to help people answer their questions. So if you answer a question Google is, if you answer the questions people ask Google in a manner that Google would appreciate, then you have a chance of ranking. So it is writing to rank on the first page of Google. I don't know if you understand. I think I'm underrating you. I'm sure you understand. But basically, what do we search for? Hair hair products for natural hair. Okay, we search for that. Now we can see AI overviews, and this AI overview is basically pulled from this YouTube video and some other. So basically these things, and then there's a website here. This is rank on the top spot. So when I say rank on the first page of Google, if you scroll the here, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is page 1 that we are on now. There's page 2, page 3, page 4. I hope you can see my mouse. Page 5, 6, 7, 8, and the likes. So basically, how many answers are there to this question? So there are about 1, 2, 3, about 1 trillion answers to this question. So how does a search engine give you an answer out of these trillions of answers? It has to prioritize the articles. It has a way of you know looking at an article and say, okay, I think this article can answer this question. So this article here on the top spot isn't ranking here by accident. I'm sure gens to write great SEO article, and then there are lots of YouTube videos, and then there's Jumia, and then there are other websites. So none of all these websites ranking here are not here by accident. They did SEO content writing amongst the other things, like I said, getting links from other people, and then ensuring that their website speed is up to par. So basically, go back to my slide, and then finally it is writing to increase websites. So when you rank on the first page of Google, people are more likely to come to your websites. How many times have you gone beyond the first page whenever you search for something? Most likely you click on the first one or two answers you see, right? Right. Whether you agree with me or not, I think that's right. All right, so what are the benefits of SEO content writing? First, to businesses. SEO content writing gives you more visibility. It gives a business more visibility. Sorry. I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy, ever ready for you. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about the breaks here and there. So benefits of SEO content writing. To the business, it gives a business more visibility. Like I said, this person writes here, Nigerian hair care products. I'm sure they are selling, I'm sure they sell certain products. So automatically this business has more visibility. People who need hair products for their natural hair, and more website visitors. So yes, when people search, they are most likely to click on this result. So more people visit this page compared to these other ones, and not to talk of clicking. The chances of anyone clicking to the next page are low. Chance is very low, except the person is not satisfied by the results here. And more leads. So a lead is basically someone who can go on to become a customer. For example, software companies use a lot. They give you a free trial. So basically, they are hoping that at some point you would pay. So when you visit their website and they offer you something and you put in your email, automatically you have become a lead. So out of maybe 5,000 people that could click through to this page, maybe 50 would become leads for this person. And then out of those 50, 5 will end up becoming customers. So more sales when you are more visible, business is a numbers game. The more people who need what you have, the more of them who see it, the higher your chances of getting more sales. And another importance of search engine optimization is that people who are searching be already interested in, unlike advertising on Facebook where people are just there to catch up with friends and then you put up an ad and interrupt them. So SEO has good intent matching. So the people are eager to either buy something or get a solution to their problem. That's why they are searching on search engines. Okay, uh, I should have deleted this. So yes, basically, an SEO content writing gives a business more visibility, more service, does more leads, and more sales. Now, benefits of SEO content writing to writers, because I believe this is for writers. So you should know why should you bother learning SEO content writing and all. Good pay, remote work, continuous growth, and you gain important life and business skills. So yeah, good pay, remote work. So basically you don't have to leave your home. If you can work for clients across the world. Yeah, remote work. Continuous growth, you know, there are some companies you wouldn't have had the opportunity to get into if you didn't have skills like SEO content writing, but it gives you continuous growth. I'm not going to dwell much on this. I think explanatory and then gain important life and business skills. Yes, like I said, currently I'm not just an SEO content writer, I'm also into other forms of digital marketing. But the foundation I had in SEO content writing helps me to easily, transition. And I have important skills like understanding what people truly want, understanding their pain points and all of that. Um, can I? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now, how to write SEO content. Before you can write SEO content, we need to know what keywords are. So I will just introduce the concept of keywords. The main point of an article is the keyword. So if you are to summarize an article, what is the one phrase you would use? That is your keyword. For example, we search for hair products for natural hair. Now, this is quite a complicated keyword, but the keyword here is products for natural hair. If you remove products, then this automatically becomes an entirely different thing you are searching for. So the part of your search, the part of what you type into Google that determines what Google serves, that is your keyword. So keywords are the most important words or phrases in a search query. I'm just quickly going to, let's go to pragmapreneur. Okay, everything so much. So we're going to look at a few topics and I would pinpoint the keywords there. Okay, so we have here how to leverage chatbots in digital marketing for productivity. Now, this is the topic, but the keyword here is chatbots in digital marketing. That's the keyword. If you remove chatbots in digital marketing from that topic, it automatically becomes something entirely different. But I can take off productivity, and I can take off how to leverage, and I can take off for, and just stick with chatbots in digital marketing, and it would not lose the essence. So the most important thing in this article is chatbots in digital marketing, and that's the keyword. These other words are just there to give it more context. Again, top 10 small business tools to skyrocket your business in 2025. The most important thing here is small business tools. That's the most important thing. So that's the keyword. So if I just type in small business tools on Google, I could get this result. But if I type in top 10, like what does that mean? Top 10 what? Or skyrocket your business, that's something entirely different. But then small business too, so that's the keyword. So keyword doesn't have to be a word, it's called keyword or key phrase. Yeah, you see that? So if it's one word, it's a keyword. If there are multiple words, it's called a key phrase. So in these examples, these are key phrases: chatbots in digital marketing, small business tools. An example of a keyword could be marketing. So someone searching for marketing wants to know about marketing most likely. Then let's scroll down. Content writing for beginners. So the keyword here is content writing for beginners. Now, I think another concept I should introduce to you is long tail and short tail keywords. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself or if I'm going too deep. I don't want this to be too long. Okay. Basically, um, let's go to moz.com. Should we? Okay, let me take a step back. Keywords are either long tail or short tail. Short tail keywords. Now, the reason why it's called long tail versus short tail is that if you search with certain keywords, the volume you get in a month, that is how many people search with that keyword in a month, it can be low. Okay, uh, let me just break this down. I'll break it down. Just give me a think Canva would help me. The difference between long term and short tail keywords may not necessarily help you become a better content SEO content writer, but it's good to know. It's also something people are, someone who may be looking to hire you may be interested in, knowing how well you know about SEO and keywords. So I think I should just touch this while I'm here. Whiteboard. Let's give it a little time while it's low. Uh, I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy. Sorry, so I can show you between long tail and short tail keywords. Please bear with me while it loads. We'll wait for it. Da 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 da. Okay. 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 Why are you wasting my time? Alright, tools. Just want to show you the difference between the long tail keywords. Okay, so when we do keyword research, there's basically, please be straight. Um, if it's not straight, just manage. The most important thing is the knowledge, is not the beauty of my graph. Okay, so there is this graph. When, let's just call it keyword research graph for want of a better name. Okay, so here is search volume. I'm just going to write SV, means search volume. So it's basically how many times a month do people search with that keyword? How many times a month do people search with that moz.com, so that you'd understand what I'm saying. Let's use Moz. So while it loads, so this part is search volume, and then for on the y-axis we have keyword length. Keyword length, that is how many words are in the keyword. How many words are in the keyword? That's the keyword. Then search volume, how many times in a month do people search with that keyword? So it could be 0. That means people are not searching for that thing on Google. It could be as high as 1 million. So every month, millions of people search with that keyword. Okay, I don't think I've actually seen keyword that's as high as of thousands. I think the millions actually. But I've never written an article for a keyword. Okay, so free SEO tools. Explorer. So what keywords are we going to try? Okay, let's stick with our hair products for natural hair. Okay, I think I should take one here. Okay, let's use content writing for beginners. We'll search with content writing first. So that will be our short tail keyword, and then content writing for beginners. It's still loading. So search volume could be 50. So if it's 50, it means people search with that keyword 50 times. Could be 100, could be 200, 2000, 20,000. Why keyword length? So it could be 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, and just like that. So if we basically, I think I would duplicate this so that and duplicate. Okay, so we're going to deal with short tail versus long tail. I present myself to you, short tail keywords. Separated unto you, make me holy, make me worthy. This song is just ringing in my head. Hagazo, 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 I present myself to you. Long tail. So short tail, long tail. So basically, for short tail keywords, when we plot the graph, it will look something like this. So basically, it could have two words and a high search volume, while long tail keywords could be 3 to 5 words. So let's say 5 words, and then the search volume is usually lower. So that's why, so when we talk about long tail, short tail, the black, this is the tail they are referring to. This part here, that's the tail. That's the tail. And then for this is the tail. The whole of this part, this is the tail. So you can see that it has a long tail and short tail. So what this means is that keywords that are short or that have a few words, they usually have higher search volume, while keywords that are longer usually have lower search volume. But then long tail keywords are more specific. So someone searching with a long tail keyword is actually narrowing down. So for example, in this our okay, I said we'll use content writing versus content writing for beginners. So if I just type in content writing, this is a long tail keyword. I am human. Success. Find keywords. Agyazo, 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 I present myself to you. Oh, please verify. So, while we wait for that, content writing alone is a long tail keyword, and I'm sure the search volume would be very high, maybe tens of thousands a month. While content writing for beginners is long tail because it is now specific. That means for beginners, we're not just targeting. And then if we could even narrow it down for that to say SEO content writing for beginners. So now the person is looking for a specific type of content writing for beginners. So that's going to have a lower search volume. And that's the whole essence of long tail versus short tail keywords. You may not understand the importance of it now, but as you continue writing content and dive into strategy, you will know the importance of long tail versus short tail keywords. But the point is that, or the takeaway from long tail versus short tail keywords is that it is easier to rank for long tail keywords. It is usually, let me put it that way, easier to rank for long tail keywords because they are more specific and people they have lower search volume, so people ignore them sometimes. Although this is now common knowledge, so almost every SEO content writer out there knows this, and anyone who is into SEO knows this. But then the general public, they don't know this. So it's easier to rank for long tail keywords. So whenever you are doing keyword research, cloud human, how waste my time telling me to verify. I hope it works this time. Agyazo. They don't want me to show you what I am talking about. The Balikisi and do I have to log in? Do I don't want to log in. But I'll just, how many minutes have I spent? Let's see. It's oops, 41 minutes and I haven't even gone deep into the writing proper. I think I would leave this for now. But basically, just know that it is usually easier to rank for long tail keywords, and long tail keywords are more specific, but they usually have a lower search volume. So if you're ranking for them, you may not get so much traffic coming to your website. But then when you're doing keyword research, you type in your short tail keyword into a tool like Moz or Uber Suggest or any other, Ahrefs, any other keyword research tool out there, and then you look for keywords that are less competitive. So if I hope it will help me so I can show you. It's better if you see what I'm talking about than just rely on your imagination. I just want to finish this. I want to wrap up it. Well, I really hope you have got a point so far. I wish more would load faster, but dwell much on this. So I'm just going to go straight ahead to next point. I believe you understand what keywords are, and then you know that they are short tail and they are long tail keywords, and the reason why it's called long tail versus short tail, and then long tail keywords are usually easier to rank for than short tail keywords. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is heading tags. The heading tags is used to structure articles, and search engines, they don't understand the way humans understand things. Search engines have bots, basically. I present to you. Will they allow? Okay, content writing. Let's see. I really wanted you to see this. Separated, make me holy, make me worthy. Okay, so content writing. Ever ready for the master, I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy. Okay, 2,500 searches a month, and the difficulty is 59. So on a scale of 1 to 100, how difficult will it be to rank for this keyword? So this is a keyword. The monthly volume is 2.5 thousand. You're going to get something similar to what we have here. Remember, this was 50, 100. I think this was where 2000. I benchmarked the 2000 points. So just towards tail is going to be short. But then let's narrow it down. Let's say SEO content writing. So while shorter keywords, if you rank for them, you have a chance, you get more traffic to your website. But then the downside of shorter keywords that they are not so specific. So someone searching for content writing, you know, maybe you are someone who offers content writing service, but someone who searches for content writing may not necessarily be interested in your service. Maybe the person just wants to know what content writing is, or the person wants to learn content writing, or the person is doing a research about content writing. So it's less specific, but you get a higher traffic to your website. But then you need to know that the whole entire the needs of a business is beyond traffic. Traffic is nothing if it is not relevant to what you are offering. And then also shorter keywords are usually more difficult to rank for. So let's say SEO content writing for healthcare companies. This would be more specific. SEO content writing for healthcare companies. Let's see. I present myself to you, rated unto you, make me holy, make me so. Monthly volume. Basically, this keyword has almost no volume, but you can see the difficulty is very low, so it will be easier to rank for this keyword. But then if you rank for this keyword, the chances of getting people to your website will be lower. But then if anyone searches for SEO content writing for healthcare companies, it is so specific that you are sure that this person either needs your service or something similar. Okay, let's take it a bit broad. SEO content writing for, let's say, beginners. Let's see. Let's see. I present myself to you. Okay, it's 17 and the difficulty is 49, so it's lower than just content writing. And then the motive volume is also lower. So if we plot this graph, we are going to have something similar to this long tail keyword. So I believe now you understand the difference between short tail versus long tail keyword. So these are clients will be interested in whether or not you know this. Okay, basically we are done. So heading tags. Now I want to talk about heading tags, and I'm just going to create a new blank document so I can show you what heading tags are. It's simple, yes. Some people find it hard. Tags. I can't believe I've spent already. Jeez. But the good thing is, after laying this foundation, when I get into the writing proper, everything will flow easily. Because when I mention keywords, you would already know what keywords are. When I say heading tags, you know what heading tags are. When I say internal links, external links, you already know what I'm talking about, or what I will be talking about. So towards explain what we are getting into. So heading tags. Basically, what some people do is they write. So um, this So the topic is SEO content writing. SEO. No, I'm not going to do this. Let me just copy. I will just copy one of these admin tags. Uh, so content writing for beginners. Copy, paste, and then I would copy everything, every single thing in on this article that I wrote for pragmatically know what this was quite a lot too. Oops. And it has been read by 501 people. Wow. Okay. Paste. I said paste. What? With okay. All right. So it took the format of the article. Now let's talk about heading tags. So if you can see my screen, you'll see where it says heading. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just click on it and you can see heading 1, heading 3, heading 4, 5, and you could also go further. But usually articles don't go deeper than heading 3. But you just need to understand this. H1 is the primary heading in your article. Is the primary heading in your H1. That means you can only have one H1 in any SEO article you write. So that is the title. The title is your H1, the main heading. Now under H1 you can have multiple H2s. So H2s are like secondary headings, basically secondary headings. Let me draw the structure. Basically you have H1, which is your main heading. Then under H1 you could have H2. You could have multiple H2s. So H2, another H2, another H2. It goes on. Now if you are to have any subheading under a H2, automatically that becomes H3. Automatically that becomes H3. So that's how it flows. So it doesn't matter the size of, I can change this size of these fonts, but it will still be a H1. It is not the size of the fonts that matters. It's not the size of the fonts that matters, but you need to give your articles these heading tags. The reason is that search engines, when they crawl a website, so search engines have what is called crawlers. So they are basically like bots that search the entire web. So when they land on a website, they are not like you and I that will read it and say, oh, this. What they're looking for is a structure. So does this page have a structure? So it has, your page should have H1s. Now, if you look at this table of contents, it's a reflection of my use of heading tags, which is the H1, H2, H3, H4, and the likes. So this is the H1. Now this is H2. Under this H2, I had a 1 H3 here on 2, and then this is another H2. Under this H2, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 H3s. So basically, this is the main heading, and then these are the secondary headings, And then if a secondary heading, which is the H2, has another subheading under it, that automatically becomes H3. Now, if I am to add another heading that is under this content writing examples to say that, okay, maybe I want to say example 1, example 2, I will use the H4 tag. That is to say that that heading is under this heading, which is under this other heading. But then if I am starting an entirely different subheading, I will use H2 to say, okay, this is an entirely different subheading. I don't know if what I just explained is clear, but just tell me in the comments if it's not clear, and I'll try my best to explain further. But I believe it is. So the best way to understand heading tags is looking at table of contents. So basically, this is the main heading, like I said, which is the H1 primary heading. So any secondary heading, any other heading in your article, any other major heading would be, you give it H2 tag, and it's easy in Google Docs. Basically, every writer uses Google Docs. You just highlight what you want to make H whatever, and then come to normal text and select the appropriate heading. So that's it about heading tags. I believe that is clear. Now, internal and external links. So basically, an internal link is a link within your own website. So let's go to my let's just go to this my agency's websites. SEOgenius.com blog. Let's use search engine of let's use digital marketing guide. Okay, let's see this post so you know what internal and external links are. I hope my explanation of heading tags was clear. If anything isn't quite clear, just hold on. When I write, it will be clearer. Okay, now I'm talking about internal and external links. So if I click on this link, it will take me to another page, but in my website. In is still within this website. So I didn't go out of this website. So that is an internal link. That's an internal link. Basically, you are linking one page of your website to another page within your website. That is an internal link. So if I click now, but if I click on this other link, it is taking me to another website, as you can see. So it took me to another website. So that is an external link, just like the name says. Internal, you are linking to another internal, you are linking to another page in or within your website. So you're not going out of your website. That's internal link. While external link, you're linking to other websites, basically. Now, SEO writing checklists. I have an SEO writing checklist that you can use to write SEO articles. It's actually like a cheat sheet. Someone who doesn't know anything about SEO content writing can just pick that sheet and follow it step by step, and the person will write a great article. I I think I added a link in the description, but basically this is it. The fonts may be too small. I don't know. Let me see what it looks like here. Okay, it's not too small. So if you just go to careersword.co/resources/SEO writing checklist, you see it. So it is a lazy way of writing great articles. So match search intent. Does your article match search intent by addressing the common and related issues in the people also ask section? You would see more about this when we write. Then heading tags. So now I talked about heading tags. I believe you know what heading tags are. So did you use heading tags to structure your article? So basically in SEO content writing, it is a taboo to just write a chunk of plain text without using heading tags. Yeah, there's a 99.999% chance that that article will not rank anywhere. So you must use heading tags. And then keyword placements. Yes, so you already know what keywords are. So there are important places you need to place your keywords in any SEO article you write. So your keyword must appear in your first paragraph, and then it must appear in your heading one, which is the title, and then subheadings H2s and H3s. Now you don't have to force this for the subheadings. You don't have to force your keyword into every subheading, but then you need to ensure that it appears in quite a number of them. But it must always appear in your first paragraph. It must always appear in your heading one, and then it must also always appear in your last paragraph, and then your URL slug. So basically, the URL slug is what people type into Google, or this programmer.com/content writing for beginners. Basically, that's the URL slug. Yes, for this, the URL slug is tirioso.co/resources/SEO writing checklist. That's the URL slug. So you must ensure that your keyword is always there, and then also your meta title, and then meta description. This mostly has to do it when you are publishing. But then let's just go to natural hair products. So as you can see, the title here is Nigerian hair care products. That's the meta title I am referring to. That's the meta title. Okay, I can see they have natural hair products on the meta title. Now, this page actually does not have natural hair in their meta description. So basically in search, this is the meta description, this part. Sorry about my funny looking search. I'm using some plugins because I'm an SEO. But if I use an incognito tab, will it be cleaner? I think. But basically, you get the idea. So this part is what is called the meta title, where this blue part of the search results. So this is the meta title of this. This is the meta title. So you can see they all have natural hair products. And then if you check their URLs, look at the bottom here where it's in HTTPS Daily Essentials at the left bottom part of my screen close to the start menu. So you can see they have natural hair products in their URL slug. Same here, natural hair. Same with this Jumia natural hair products. And then this first page, they also have product review Nigerian hair care. So a keyword must appear, meta title, meta description, and then images. It's good to rename at least a few of the images in your article to add your keyword. Then there's also something called image alt text. So I don't know if you've ever visited a website and the image didn't load properly, but then you just saw an icon and then there was a text written beside it. Yeah, that's the image alt text. So for every image you use while you are publishing, you need to include your keyword in the alt text. Now, renaming images may not necessarily impact the rankability of your article, but it's a good way to I think it actually impacts, but It's easy to locate your images rather. The most important thing when it comes to images and keyword is actually the alt text and not necessarily renaming the images. But I've also found that renaming the images help. Now, keyword density. So for every article you write, your keyword density should be around 1%. That means your keyword should appear around in 1% of your article. So if you are writing a 1000 word article, your keyword need to appear 10 times. So in between adding your keyword to your first paragraph, your heading, your subheadings, last paragraph, and then within the body of the article. So the URL slug, meta title, we are not going to count those as part of the 1%. It's mostly, now I'll show you examples. So don't be scared if this sounds overwhelming. This is 1 hour already. I'm going to rush through. So just ensure that your keyword density is around 1%. And then semantic keywords. So semantic keywords are not keywords, but semantic words rather are words that are related to your keyword that give it more context. For example, you can't talk about search engines and not mention Google. So Google is now synonymous with search. So it's a semantic keyword. You can talk about smartphones and not mention iPhones or Samsung. So basically, they are semantic words. They are words that give context to the keyword. You can talk about natural hair products. I don't know anything about natural hair products, so I can't use that. But basically, for everything people search for, there are words that are related to that keyword or that give more meaning to that keyword. It could be a brand name, it could be anything basically. Next, internal links. I've already talked about internal links, so you know what internal links are. So you need to add relevant internal links with matching anchor text, at least 4 to 7 internal links for the articles you write. And then another thing I would also love to mention is word count. I didn't add it to the checklist, but word count is also good. The sweet spot is between 1.5 and 2,500 words. That's what I've noticed. So aim for at the very least 1,000 words. But then I know there are some niches that could require fewer words, maybe 700 words, but it is a taboo to write an article and SEO content with a word count less than 700. But then you shouldn't even aim for 700 rather. Aim for at least 1,000, 1,500 words to 2,500 words. Yeah, external links. So it is also important to add relevant external links and then active voice. So you need to use the active voice in your article. Let me see if I can pinpoint any passive voice. So you need to use, are you interested in content writing? Whether you're a beginner or explorers who wants to, uh, I will show you an answer. I think my article is not necessarily a good example to show you the difference between active and passive voice because I use active voice a lot. Let me let me go through. Oh God, I'm yawning. Okay, let me see this person's article, drone technology. Let me see if I can pinpoint passive voice. I don't know who wrote this article, Antonia. So imagine a situation where our market errands parcels are being okay. So imagine, so this is actually this person speaking in passive voice. So market errands, parcels or groceries are being delivered by flying bots. So the active voice would be more like, imagine a situation where flying bots deliver our market errands. I don't know if you get how I just flipped that. So this is passive voice. So here the person says groceries are being delivered by flying robots. But the active voice will say flying robots deliver groceries. So I basically eliminated being and I changed it from being delivered. I changed it from flying robots deliver. Okay, I think I should copy this and tell you so you can see what I'm talking about. So I just want to show you the difference between passive and active voice. And I'll come back here. We'll delete all of this. So the person said our sales or groceries are being delivered by flying robots. But if I were to write this, I'll write in active voice and say flying robots deliver our market errands, parcels, or groceries. So this is the active voice, and this is more punchy and more engaging. While if you use this and you continue and your article is filled with more of the passive than the active voice, people will not you it's easy to not notice this, but sometimes you could be reading an article and you don't know why it just doesn't feel as interesting, you feel drowsy and all. This little change of using active voice against passive voice can do a lot for you. Then short sentences. So it is better to use short sentences and not drown your reader in bulk of text. I think so. Are you interested in bleeps? So you can see, compare this my article to what this person wrote. You can see most of my paragraphs are just, this is even one line, 2 lines, 3 lines, um, 2 lines. So you can see I use short sentences compared to this other person. So this is quite long. This is also quite long. This is quite long. So using short sentences here, I am also guilty sometimes. But basically, if you check through, most of my sentences are short, 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 short. So I can I can break. Okay, there's a full stop here, and also my paragraphs are also short. So yes, there's always room for improvement. So looking at this article now, I can see ways of even improving it further. But basically, you need to use short sentences and short paragraphs. Then simple words. Is your article easy to read and understand? Did you cut off jargon? So you know you don't need to write in such a way that people would have to get the dictionary or go to Google and say, what does this word mean? If people tends to do that, you lose them, they won't read your article further. So it's better to use simple words. Now, this depends on your niche and audience, but simplicity wins most of the time. It always wins. But then maybe your clients may be more interested in setting, maybe your target audience is professionals in a certain field. So you need to add some industry specific terms, but generally, simple words are advised. And then multimedia. So did you include images or videos in your article? Like I said, this article, there are ways I can actually improve it. But then let's go to another article I wrote where I used images and multimedia. I think that's B2B. Okay, I said I was going to show you examples. So let me not get ahead of myself. And then did you rename the images to include your keyword before uploading? Then have you written alt text, then quality check? So after doing all of this, you need to run your article to a plagiarism checker to ensure your article isn't just a copy of someone else's work, even if you are sure that it's from your head and all, you still need to run it to a plagiarism checker just to avoid any hearsay. And then personally, I plagiarism score less than 5%. Most times my articles are around three, less than 3% and all. But for a start, you can say, okay, you want to the 5% bar is AI score. So some people are not 100% sold on AI, so they won't want you to give them AI written articles. So also after writing, run your article through an AI detector, ensure your AI score is less than 20%. Now, this slide couldn't contain all the 15 things, so I'm just going to scroll down here. So check for plagiarism, check AI score, and then final checks. Is your intro and hook catchy enough? Have you included call to actions very relevant? And then after publishing, internal link from other articles on your website to this newly published one. And then here are some things to avoid. Keyword stuffing, that is using your keyword in more than 1.5% of your article, copying other articles, and then AI score. So I've already highlighted this, then copyrighted images. Okay, I think we can move on to examples. How many? This is over an hour already. Okay, so example one. This is the this is officially my first SEO article I ever wrote. It's quite interesting. Now, there may be a lot of lapses, but I think it's still a good example. One reason why I'm highlighting it, or I chose to highlight it, is that it was ranking. Oh no, 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 I didn't mean to. I meant to open it in a new tab. Okay, so close this. I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy, ever ready for the master. I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy, ever ready. So, examples. Like I said, this article is officially my the first essay article I ever wrote, and I don't know if I would say I was lucky. Okay, I wasn't lucky, but I was lucky. I wasn't lucky in the sense what I was doing. I had taken courses from the best. So it was actually ranking on page one of Google for close to 2 years until the owners of the rated to a new domain. So I think that's impacted it and it dropped off. So this is it, a fun search. Now I think this why to use it and how to use it is actually not so proper. That's by the way. So the heading. Now we are going to run this against checklist to see how it all played out. I present myself to you. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I can't stop myself from singing. Hajazo, hajazo, hajazo. I present myself. Okay. Example one, the heading. So basically, the keyword for this article is Google Advanced Search. That is the keyword. Google Advanced Search. Google Advanced Search. That's the keyword. So let's go to our checklist. Match search intent. So like when we get to write, that's when you would really understand the whole essence of the search intent. But basically, search intent is the person that typed in that keyword into Google, he has a reason why he searched for it. Now, your article, did it meet that person's reason or did it leave the person frustrated? That's the whole essence of matching search intent. So if you do your research well and go to the people also asked section of Google to know the questions people have and then answer those questions well, you would meet search intent. So this article is titled A Full Guide to Google Advanced Search. Why to use Google Advanced Search and how to use Google Advanced Search. So basically anyone who searches for Google Advanced Search, this article will meet the person's intent. Basically, I didn't ask you to do what you are trying to do. Okay, so that's it. Now heading tags. Did you use heading tags to structure article? Hell no. Heaven yes. So as you can see from the table of contents, like I said, so this is H2, H2, this is H3. So these two H3s are under this H2. And then this is another H2. And these H3s are under this H2. This is another H2. These are H3s. They're under this H2. And then these are H4s under this H3, which is under this H2. So I don't know if you are getting the whole heading tag stuff. So I used heading tags to structure my basically, yeah. If you don't use heading tags, you cannot have this table of contents as it appears here. Your article will just be a big block of text. And when search engines land on your page, it's like, yeah, what's this guy doing here? Where do I start from? But when you have table of contents, okay, it gives structure to the article and even it makes I don't think I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but it makes search engines, the crawlers, the Google bots, it makes their work easier, basically. So they know that okay, this person talks about this in this article. But if you just have a big block of text, it has to go through everything line by line before it knows what you're talking about. But if you have a good structure, it can just look at your H2s, okay, this person talked about this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, so on the search, on the checklist, keyword placement. So first paragraph, let's see. First paragraph. Okay, so as you can see, recently I came across this time-saving tool, Google Advanced Search. So that's the way is snock a word? Is there any word like snock? What's the past tense of sneak? Is it sneaked? Anyways, that's the way I snuck. That's how I snuck my keyword into the first paragraph of this article. Now, heading one, so which is the title. This is the keyword here, Google Advanced Search. So it is in my H1. It is in my H1. Then next part, subheadings, H2s and H3s. Let us see. So we can just look at the table of content. This is a H2, so you can see my keyword is here. My keyword is also here. Now it's not in H3, but like I said, you don't have to force your keyword into every subheading. You just have to be nuanced about it, Think about also how, that's why I said, if you remember, I said SEO Content Writing is about helping people while also pleasing search engines. So, in as much as yes, you want the search engines to rank your article, you are not just doing it for the search engines because in the end, it is the people who land on your website you're expecting to maybe buy your product or sign a deal with you or recommend you or something. So, you also need to think about how they experience your article. So, how would it feel if every single subheading here had Google Advanced Search? So why Google Advanced Search? I can still say Google Advanced Search saves time. I can still say Google Advanced Search gives you exactly what you search for. So I could add my keyword to every single heading slash subheading, but then it wouldn't really flow, or it can become the nuanced eyes. Maybe the readers who don't really know about search engines may not necessarily notice, but then it can easily, if you remember, I said some things to avoid keyword stuffing. So in as much as you want to get your keyword in 1% of your article, you don't want it to be over bloated. So you don't want too much of your keyword in every part of your article, basically. So yeah, as you can see, this other H3 also. Now, there are also keyword variations. So this advanced Google search and Google advanced search are basically the same thing. So this is just a variation of this keyword. But basically, you've seen that I included the keyword in my subheading. So back to our checklist. And then last paragraph. Uh, I think I may have faulted here. Let's see. Let's see. Conclusion. Okay, so it's still in my second to last paragraph, but I think that's good. Next, URL slug. So as you can see, the URL slug, Google Advanced Search, right up here, Google Advanced Search. So I believe you can see what I highlighted. So it is also there. And then meta title. So if you are not the one publishing the article on the website, then you may not have to worry about the meta title for now, but I think it's also good for you to know what meta title is. Let me just quickly search this on Google. Google Advanced Search Nigeria. I used to rank on page 1 for this search term, but like I said, they switched domain, so it's kind of affected the ranking and it hasn't been able to pick up. So yes, I'll just close this here so that you can see before it gets, I don't want, let me turn off SEO quick. I want to remove all of this so that it not interfere with. Basically, this is the meta title, like I said earlier. This blue where it says advanced search, this is the meta title. This is the meta title. So as you can see, all the articles ranking on the first page of Google for that keyword, they have the keyword in their meta title. And while publishing, I'm sure Priscilla also added initially, because when I wrote this article, I wasn't handling publishing. So, but I'm sure she included it in the meta title. Should I log into, let me just log in so that you'd see what it looks like. I'm going to log in on my own website. Let me unshare my screen. So okay. I want to log into my website. Agyazo, 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 I present myself to you, separated unto you. Agyazo, 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 I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy, ever ready for the Master. I present myself to you, separated unto you. Agyazo, 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 I present myself to you, separated unto you. Agyazo, agyazo. Okay, I have logged into my WordPress dashboard. I'm just going to select a post. Okay. And I'll click on edit, and once it shows, I would go back to sharing my screen so you'd see what I'm talking about. It's better when you see these things and not just try to imagine them. Agyazo, 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 I present myself to you, separated unto you. Okay, so there are things called content optimization tools or plugins depending on the websites where you publish. So I'll share my screen now. I hope my sound is back. So, like I was saying, I copied part of my article, and the checker told me that I exceeded the word limit. So I cut off some words and took it within the 1,000 word limit they give. So now I clicked, I'm waiting for this check to be approved so I can confirm. It's wasting my time. I think I can close Moz now. I don't need you anymore for the time being. So check for plagiarism, AI score for to check AI score, GPT 0 got me, but also it's not entirely free. They also have word limits. I think what's this Phrasely? I think Phrasely gives you a higher limits, 2,000 word limits. Yes, for Phrasely you can detect, try to detect AI, your AI score for 2,000 words. So that's a higher limit. To be checker is wasting my time. The error is that you pay for it, you have both a plagiarism checker and AI detector all in one place. So it's actually a good tool. Phrase. So go to Prots and AI detector. If this gets to 2 hours, I think I would pause it and start a part two of this where we dive straight into writing. Mm, bada, 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 bada. So products, AI detector. Funny how an AI article generator also has an AI detector. Bada, 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 bada. So check for AI. Please enter. Paste. What is happening? I present myself to. So my PC wants to lag. Yeah, I've given you options. For plagiarizing checker, you can either use Qtext or duplicate checker, and then there are a host of others. There's copyscape. I can go on and on and on, but that's besides the point. For AI detectors, I prefer GPT zero. I think it's fairly more accurate. Yeah, I've tried a handful. Ba, 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 ba. There's also turn it in, and then there's Phrasely. Phrasely gives you a higher word limits. So check for AI. Scanning your text, do not refresh the page, blah blah blah. So let's just wait to see what Phrasely has to say. I present myself to you, separated unto you. Make me holy, make me worthy, ever ready for the Master. I present myself to and see here. GPT-0 is telling me I have exceeded the limit of 5,000 characters. So I have to remove some words. And now I can scan ever ready for the Master. I present myself to you, separated unto you. So funny. When I wrote this article in 2023, AI wasn't so rampant. But here it says your test is likely to be written by AI 100%. Ouch, that hurts me. But I know